If Mayweather didn't believe that he can beat Manny Pacquiao, he wouldn't be in the ring with him. You know, however, Manny Pacquiao can't beat no damn Mayweather, man. Sorry to tell y'all. He can't beat no Mayweather, man. Nope, not at all.
Hey, Floyd lives clean. He always seems to be in shape, never far off his weight. Pacquiao, well, he's the only one who's had a camp, a serious camp, fight camp with the Barrios fight. I give him a little edge. Check for him. X factors. It's a rematch, right? Mayweather won it first. He's got to have maybe a little edge mentally, you know, as far as confidence, belief.
Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Of course, great fight, two legends. I'm a Mayweather fan. I like what he's done for the sport. I like his skill. So if he wants to make it 2-0, he can make it 2-0.
Teddy Atlas has just broken down the Pacquiao versus Mayweather rematch. Teddy surprisingly predicts a draw, noting that their contrasting styles make the fight unpredictable. He highlights Pacquiao's recent activity as an edge, and wonders if promoters are already eyeing a trilogy, leaving the outcome open for debate.
At the end of the day, the pick is what you've been waiting for, right? You couldn't wait for this. All right, the pick. Styles make fights. You know, that the style of Mayweather could still be a problem for Pacquiao. But again, Pacquiao has been the only one in there with a real fight recently. And I know the boxing business, you guys too, right? Could it be possible that these promoters, whatever, it is about money? Could they already be thinking about a trilogy? I don't know, call me crazy. I'm gonna call it a draw, all right? There it is. All right, that's, I hope you guys, makes you think about it a little bit. Might make you laugh, might make you mad, or it might make you say, hey, yeah.
Teddy outlined the matchup through a chart of pros and cons. He sees age as even between them, but gives Mayweather the advantage in mileage, crediting his defensive style for preserving his body over time.
Scheduled, hey, go figure, right? But as long as it is, I will just give you a little something that I did here. I figured, you know what, let me make a little chart. I don't know if you can see the chart. But what it is I'll read it off to you. I made a chart of advantages, disadvantages at this point for both these, you know, these iconic fighters, right? At this point. All right, number one, advantage, disadvantage, age, you know, right? I put even. They each get a check. They're both old, right? So that's number one. The number two was who's got less miles on the odometer. And because of the defensive style of Mayweather, I gave a check to Mayweather having the edge here. I mean, besides the Marquez fights.
Teddy Atlas compares the two, giving Manny Pacquiao the nod in sharpness and reaction time, while hinting that Floyd Mayweather's time away from real competition might show in the opening rounds. He sees no clear gap in power. Mayweather carries the physical size, but Pacquiao brings the more instinctive punching force, and rates their quickness as equal, pointing to the fast hands and agile footwork both still display.
Reflexes and timing and other boxing elements. Well, I gave the check to Pacquiao. You know, at least he's had some fights, or at least one real fight, you know, with Barrios recently. And yeah, Mayweather's fresher, but inactivity could affect his timing, especially early in the fight. So next one, power. Well, the guy who's always been a naturally better puncher. Not the naturally bigger guy, though, so that equals it out a little bit, evens it out. The naturally bigger guy is Mayweather, but the natural punch was always Pacquiao. He gets a check. Speed. Who gets the edge there? Well, Mayweather always fast, always smooth, always fluid. And Pacquiao, I mean, tremendous hand and feet speed, foot speed. I give them both the check.
Max Kellerman shares that he appreciates Floyd Mayweather's polished technical brilliance, but still places Manny Pacquiao higher on his pound-for-pound list. He is respected both as all-time greats, yet believes Pacquiao's run through multiple weight classes carries more historical weight, even though he never picked Manny to defeat Mayweather head-to-head.
It's actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when I do a pound-for-pound ranking, I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound-for-pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd in
But
the
I
pound for pound race.
never thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd, ever.
But
never
Pacquiao,
thought it was
he's one
gonna
of my favorite fighters.
Who?
Floyd and Pacquiao, they're one of my favorite fighters. But I still want
Floyd's
to
the
see
longer, bigger, better defensive fighter.
Right.
You know,
But let's be real, what this is all about, business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing today, even if they aren't, necessarily the most active fighters.
Coach Rodney commends Floyd Mayweather's form ahead of the Pacquiao rematch, noting that at such age, he remains in peak condition. He highlights Floyd's work with his nephew, Roger's son, and says the training shows he's focused, sharp, and still a formidable presence in the ring.
It's official that Floyd Mayweather will be fighting Manny Pacquiao on Netflix in Las Vegas at the Sphere. First reaction to the news, and what do you think about it?
Like I say, Floyd, he's a competitor, and he's ready. I already, heard, through the grapevine, he's been working with his nephew, Roger's son. That's a real good pad man, sort of like his father, and they said he did real good with Floyd. So just by hearing that, Floyd already, on that thing. Like I talked to Dewan told me something about, the Pacquiao fight, and they finna make that happen and this and that. So I think Floyd's ready.
However, Ryan Garcia holds Manny Pacquiao as the greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. He points to Pacquiao's success across numerous weight divisions and his explosive knockouts as proof of unmatched greatness. Garcia, a longtime admirer, believes Pacquiao's influence and legacy separate him from the rest.
I mean, I've always had Manny Pacquiao above Floyd pound for pound, and just in the history of boxing, you never heard of a guy that could go from those weight classes and still dominate, knocking out Cotto, knocking out Ricky Hatton with one shot, destroying Oscar De La Hoya. Made him look like he was nothing. I mean, for me, Manny Pacquiao was always going to have that, and I was always a huge fan of him growing up. So yeah, for me, he takes the cake.
Gabe Rosado believes a second clash between Mayweather and Pacquiao could be even more compelling. He acknowledges both have aged, but feels Pacquiao still fights with rhythm, while Mayweather's success will depend on his mobility and timing. For Rosado, the real intrigue is whether Floyd can adjust against Manny's direct attacking approach.
It's going to be, I think it's going to even be a better fight this time, only because, obviously they're going to be, they slow down. Floyd can't, I don't think he's going to be able to move as much as he used to. And then, Pacquiao still kind of got that flow with him. He showed it in Barrios' fight. So, I think we know what Pacquiao's going to bring to the table is going to be more interesting what Floyd got. You know what I'm saying? And Floyd still got those movements. You know what I'm saying? Because, Pacquiao's more of the straight up fighter. Mm-hmm. Where Floyd relied a lot on his speed. Yeah. We know that. Go. You're not gonna have speed. You're not gonna have speed when you're 50. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, I think it's gonna be a very competitive fight just because of both of them slowing down.
Keyshawn Davis labels the fight as iconic, though he admits it feels altered with both men beyond their prime. He points out that years out of the ring affect the rhythm and intensity, yet their legendary status keeps fans fully engaged.
Keyshawn, your thoughts on Mayweather and Pacquiao, September?
It's a legendary fight, I feel like it's gonna be a different fight now that, they're at two different ages. They well out of retirement, past retirement, whatever you say. So they both retired for a long time. And I think it's going to be a different fight, so the fans are definitely going to be in tune.
Keyshawn Davis backs Floyd Mayweather Jr., pointing out that he already defeated Manny Pacquiao and that recent activity plays a big role. While both fighters have slowed over time, Davis believes Floyd's exhibition bouts, including his fight with Logan Paul, have kept him sharp and give him the edge.
Floyd for sure. Because he already won the first time. You're only as good as your last performance. You know what I'm saying? Last performance, Floyd won.
So you think about Floyd. Age, when they talk about reflexes and timing go as a fighter, you think his time and his reflexes will still be there?
No, both of their reflexes and timing still ain't there. But I'm going to say this too, though. Pacquiao's last performance was crazy against a younger fighter too. But Floyd also been doing a lot of exhibitions. So they both been kind of active, you know what I'm saying? But I got to judge off their last fight.
Floyd's been off a long time, ain't done nothing. He's been inactive.
Yeah. That's cool.
Pacquiao just fought.
You traded Pacquiao too?
Nah,
he gotta be Chet. He gotta be trading Pacquiao, right? Chet, he gotta be trading Pacquiao.
I just want to hear your thoughts, man. I just want to hear your thoughts. I mean,
I'm been keeping it real.
Right, I know you are.
They both been sort of kind of active.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before Pacquiao fought Barrios, he ain't fighting a very long time. You know, but Floyd had probably like 2-3 exhibitions. Floyd even fought Logan Paul. He a young kid. So Floyd is the more active retirement fighter.
Lake Mayweather highlights Floyd's exceptional readiness for the Pacquiao rematch, noting he's stronger and more focused than ever. He points to Floyd's elite fight intelligence, explaining that every drill and movement is purposeful, making his approach in the ring sharper, more calculated, and unmatched in precision.
Is Floyd that much, even at this age and at this, you know, part of his career where most fighters, they're like 1/4 of their abilities? Is he, like, when they say Floyd Mayweather, you know, even at this age, it's unparalleled?
Yes, and it's so crazy. I don't even know how to describe it. He's just that much smarter than everybody else. That's just what it boils down to. His IQ is so much better than everybody else's, right? Everything we do on the mitts, we're doing it for a reason when we do it. And I think that's the difference between him and other fighters is if you're in the mitts, if you're doing the mitts with other fighters and you stop, most of them can't tell you why we just did what we did. He can tell you everything. He can tell you the reason he stepped with his left foot before his right foot. Everything has a purpose. Yeah, so that he's just that much smarter than everybody else.
Lake Mayweather thinks the rematch might play out in a new way, pointing out that Pacquiao's pace has dipped while Floyd remains quick and alert. He compares their first fight to a strategic chess game, but expects Manny to have a harder time keeping up with Floyd's precision and timing this time around. He also notes that the toll of years in the ring has affected Pacquiao, further widening Floyd's edge.
Yeah, I feel like it might be a different fight on Pacquiao end. Because we've seen him in the ring. He has slowed down. Floyd hasn't slowed down. So the last fight, of course, was a high stakes chess match. I think this fight plays out as a Manny trying to keep up with Floyd.
Wow.
You know, because he is still that sharp. And I'm not just talking, he still is that sharp. It's ridiculous. And because we done see Manny been in wars, Manny been knocked out. You know, that takes a toll on the body.
Oscar De La Hoya looks back at the idea of Floyd Mayweather facing Manny Pacquiao 5 years earlier and believes the fight would have been much tighter, possibly even debated. Still, he feels Mayweather would have edged it. De La Hoya recalls how aggressive and non-stop Pacquiao was in his prime, saying that version would have pushed the pace harder, though he's not convinced it would have changed the final result.
What would have been different had they fought, let's just say 5 years earlier? Because everybody believed they wanted that fight. We had been clamoring for that fight for 5-10 years. Had they fought 5 years earlier, is the outcome any different?
Let's just say it would have probably been a controversial decision.
Okay.
You know, like a closer fight. But I still think that Floyd probably would have pulled it off. I really do think so. Pacquiao at the time when he was coming up, when I fought him, he was literally a Pac-Man.
Right.
He was just chomping at me like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop throwing punches. That Pacquiao probably gives Mayweather a better fight.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if he wins, but he gives him a better fight.
Right.
Oscar De La Hoya says his experience in the ring gives him insight into what fighters go through mentally and physically. He believes Pacquiao wasn't at his absolute best, and even if both men had met at their peak, De La Hoya still sees Floyd Mayweather finding a way to win.
Yeah, I mean, as a fighter myself, I know exactly what's going on with the fighters, mentally and physically, and Pacquiao wasn't the same. And you can make the argument for Floyd as well.
Right.
You know, at their peak, yeah, I still think that Floyd would have won the fight.
Keith Thurman finds Mayweather's return for a Pacquiao rematch understandable. He says the financial rewards, the lifestyle, and the rush of fight night are powerful motivators, and seeing younger fighters cash in only adds to the appeal. Thurman adds that the experience of being in the ring is irreplaceable, making it nearly impossible for a boxer to stay retired.
So it's almost like Floyd set up the blueprint, and then, you know, Jake Paul took it to another level. And Floyd's like, hey, man, I can't just let these young people do something better than me. And he getting all this bread. I used to be the money man. I was the money man. you know, and it is what it is, man. You know, he lives a very fancy lifestyle. Some people say that, you know, that they need the money. Pacquiao needs the money. Floyd needs the money. Hey, man, you need the money, get back in the business and make the money. It is what it is, man. But this is what boxers know best. I mean, it's hard. How do you go from an industry that pays you multiple millions of dollars in a night? You know what I'm saying? And then you go into retirement and, you know, you do little things for people. You do an appearance here. You do this and that there. There's nothing like fight night. There's no adrenaline like fight night. There's no buildup like fight night, you know? And there's no money reward like fight night. So it doesn't surprise me, man. Like, it's hard to step away from this sport.
Lonnie B breaks down Floyd Mayweather's approach to the Pacquiao rematch, calling him a tactical mastermind. He points to Floyd's recent bout with Mario Barrios as proof he still feels capable of dominating despite time away from the ring. Lonnie emphasizes Floyd's experience, ring intelligence, and disciplined training as factors that keep him sharp.
What do you think about him coming out of retirement and fighting professionally and against Pacquiao, no less?
Well, one thing about Floyd is very strategic. I believe he's seen something in that Mario Barrios fight that he like, oh yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Actually, my personal opinion, I think Floyd can come back and beat a lot of these guys.
Like who?
I think he'll beat Barrios. I think he'll beat Ryan Garcia. I think his experience and his boxing IQ, and it seems like Floyd, it seems like his body is still like, you know, fresh. He had 9 years off. And Floyd is one of them guys who stay in the gym. Don't let Floyd fool you. He stays in the gym. He's been doing this since he was a kid. It's impossible for him to stay away from the gym. So he stays in the gym, whether he's just playing around. Even if he stay mentally in boxing, that's still you staying in the gym. And those who box know what I'm talking about. Like, just always watching and always thinking and always playing around. Floyd is a computer. So I believe he's seen something in the Pacquiao fight, and he like, I mean, in the Mario Barrios Pacquiao fight, and said, oh, and the money they giving away now? Oh, let me go steal some more money.
Floyd Mayweather is set to fight Mike Tyson in an exhibition match that is going to take place in the first quarter of 2026. Joe Rogan and Terrence Crawford both describe a Tyson-Mayweather exhibition as wild yet impossible to look away from. Rogan highlights Tyson's huge size advantage, while Crawford questions his effectiveness, pointing out that Tyson's recent performance didn't show he could challenge someone as quick and elusive as Mayweather.
50, it's crazy.
You gonna watch it though?
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch him fighting Mike. I think that's crazy. He's gonna have an exhibition with Tyson, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mike is so much bigger than him.
Yeah,
he's so much bigger than him.
He's not gonna land a fist on Mayweather.
Right.
It's not after his last performance. You know, I think Tyson just...
Terrence Crawford questions Tyson's ability to land effectively on Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition. He highlights Tyson's moments of hesitation and lack of aggression, saying it's unrealistic to expect him to trouble Mayweather now. While acknowledging Tyson's legendary status, Crawford admits the fight was difficult to watch and implies the veteran may be past his prime in the ring.
What do you think was going on with that, the last one? It looked a little bit like sparring.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was scripted.
Yeah.
I ain't never seen Tyson biting his gloves, and like you could just, it was taking all that he could not to like hit him. And it was just like, it's heartbreaking to see a icon go out like that.
Yeah.
You know, and
but it's crazy also to see him fight at 57 years old. Like, that's nuts.
But still, like, he shouldn't have been in there.
No.
At all.
DJ Vlad reported that a prominent veteran jeweler told him Floyd Mayweather is in serious financial trouble from overspending. According to Vlad, the jeweler, an industry insider relied on by other jewelers, insisted that Mayweather is broke, blaming his lavish lifestyle and continual luxury purchases. Vlad noted he couldn't confirm the claim himself, but emphasized that the jeweler was firm that Floyd's extravagant habits have caused money problems.
He's going through some money issues,
financial problems.
Yeah, like
you know what's crazy, and I don't know whether it's true, but I was hanging out at Wes Watson's house. Right, he's a big like fitness influencer.
Yeah, I know
you know who he is, right? So we did a house tour.
Bald headed dude.
Yeah,
yeah,
white dude, big,
prisoner guy.
Prisoner guy, right? Exactly. So. I know what you're talking about. So, right, so we did a house tour. Yeah, yeah, white dude, big, prisoner guy.
Prisoner guy.
Right, exactly. So when we're getting ready to shoot, he's got like these kind of people at his house,
right?
And there's this like old school jeweler dude there. Like they're like, oh, this is like one of the OG jeweler guys. This is like who everyone else gets their stuff from. And he told me, and I'm not gonna say who it is, but he's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really, Mayweather's broke. Now I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Terrence Crawford noted that Mike Tyson could have made substantial money without fighting again. He explained that Tyson's renown, influence, and network could have been used to secure profitable ventures, avoiding the dangers of stepping back into the ring.
He needed the money.
It's other ways.
Yeah.
You know, it's other ways for.
But what did he get?
People.
He got at least 20, right?
Yeah, but still, I think.
I think he needed
all
that money.
Yeah, but with all his connections and things like that, I think people could have put him in the right position to make some money.
Joe Rogan raised concerns about whether Tyson has a team genuinely looking out for him, noting that big stars often realize too late that those around them weren't acting in their best interest. He added that many fighters concentrate entirely on their sport and lack business instincts, leaving them open to financial mistakes and exploitation.
If he's got people with him that are looking out for his best interest, but you know how it is. When there's a guy like that, that's a big name, usually everybody around him pretends they're looking out for their best interest, but there's always lawsuits later on. You find out someone was stealing money or not paying him what he deserved. There's always a bunch of involved.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, especially if you're not business minded, which I don't know if Mike is, but most fighters aren't. Most fighters concentrate on fighting. To be business minded, that's a giant distraction. You got to pay attention to all this other shit. On top of that, it's generally not how they think.
Rampage Jackson expressed shock at the Tyson-Mayweather announcement. At first, he assumed Tyson would dominate, but after remembering Mike's uneven showing against Jake Paul, he now believes Mayweather could have the upper hand.
News just came out.
No
Who do you
way.
think is going to win?
It's an exhibition. Tyson.
I got Tyson.
I got Tyson. Mayweather.
He's
is
slick,
younger.
but dude, look at the size difference, man.
Yeah, but Tyson gonna, if he looks like he looked when he fought, what's it called? Thank you.
Jake Paul.
However, Evander Holyfield considers Tyson the favorite over Mayweather, noting that one solid punch from Mike could decide the fight. He respects Floyd's speed, agility, and ring experience, but sees Tyson's raw power as a serious threat. Despite questions after Tyson's bout with Jake Paul, Holyfield trusts that his skill and fierce competitiveness remain intact, fully backing the legendary heavyweight.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying you got Tyson?
I got Tyson.
You got Tyson over Mayweather? That's huge. Well, I just got Floyd because he's younger. 10 years younger, fast, elusive.
I hear bigger punching, man. You're gonna get toe up.
Really?
Well, of course.
So if Tyson lands on Floyd, Floyd's going down?
Yeah.
But so when he fought Jake Paul, some fans, you know, they weren't too impressed with Tyson's performance versus Jake Paul. Do you think you'll have a better one versus Floyd?
I just think if they compete, you're gonna get.
I like that. You're sticking with your boy Tyson, though. You're loyal.
Well, I'm just
heavyweight size.
He don't let nobody get the. He ain't gonna let nobody get the best of him.
Meanwhile, Johnny Nelson also weighed in on the Mayweather-Tyson exhibition, highlighting the tension between the two legends. He noted that Tyson isn't as consistent in training as Mayweather, who stays sharp through steady conditioning and movement. Nelson warned that Tyson's ego could affect his decisions in the ring. While his power and style were unstoppable in his prime, they are less effective now.
Mike Tyson's never been a great fan of Floyd Mayweather. I think at one time he said something like, at least I can walk my kids to school. These two guys have had a spat back and forth between them. Now, my worry is Mike Tyson at 58 years old, he's probably not as physically active in the gym, in the boxing gym as Floyd is. Floyd still keeps himself in relative good condition. Hitting the bag, moving around and things like that. Floyd's 48, Mike's 59, he's a year older than me. But because there's that distinct between them and it's real, because there's that between them, I think ego is going to get the better of Mike rather than common sense. Common sense is Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather in the day. You look at the size difference between these two. Mike Tyson would eat him alive. But now he's 59 years old, and that style suits a young man. It doesn't suit an old man.
Johnny Nelson explains that Mayweather's smaller stature isn't a liability, as his speed and ring IQ give him a clear advantage. He compares it to facing a quick but inexperienced fighter. Mayweather's timing and positioning stay precise. He adds that Mayweather still dictates the pace and movement, keeping control over Tyson throughout.
Floyd Mayweather, even though he might be smaller, he'll be the one that's got the movement. He's got he's still got the run craft. It's like me getting in the ring with a 14-year-old kid that doesn't know half as what I know, but he's got the pace, he's got the movement. And even though Floyd's 48, he'll still have more movement and pace than Mike. So then it's going to be, ooh, I want to get him. So to me, it's one of those you want to watch between your eyes. But when I heard, I thought, wow, really? This is an argument that's going to be held out in public.
That's a wrap for today's video. Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more action-packed content.